What a beautiful day to begin with. Thank you so much for being with us. And today I am going to review recently released a South Korean web series. It's taken from the webtoons, and I think they have done a tremendous work, especially working with the original writer to pen this series. 6 episodes, 5 episodes, and you will really be amazed with this. So DP is all about a deserter pursuit unit, and they are like a cops in the military, those who are getting all those who were drafted and ran away from the training. So before moving further with synopsis or anything, I would like to really share something cross-cultural references that I really learned it through my study or whatever I just witnessed when I talk to people from different nationalities. The beautiful thing is when you are studying about cross-cultural, it's your experience, like you meet different people from different nationalities, different communities, and you talk to them. And the good thing is sometimes they are a little bit reserved, or we can say that some people are introvert or some are extrovert. Some really wanted to share very optimistically so that they can express their opinion. And especially if you are a neutral and you are just not among them, then they will talk different things. So what I learned there, the thing is that they can some, especially in every country, there is a different classification of people. Some are rich, some are middle class, and some are poor. And especially those who get drafted also, if they have no money and their kids cannot go abroad, then they will have to be there. Sometimes it happens that they just let their kids before time, send them to different places so they can study, or they just wanted to evade from the system, and that happens. DP is not merely about the training or what's happening within these four walls. It's all about the electives, where they come from and which background or family they had and what they were going through. An Jun-Ho, who came from a very poor family, and especially his family is going through a very toughest phase of a human life, and especially his father, how he treats his mother and the sister. So broken family and lot of stress they have to go through. So finally he is here within this four wall to be trained to in pursuit of a good happiness or good life, and especially, and that's what he is here for. But it's not gonna to be an easy ride for him, because there are some challenges that he has to go through. Sergeant Park finds out that Jun-Ho is very good at observation, and he said that instead of being in another unit, he will be a key player in the DP. So now Jun-Ho is assigned in a DP unit, and thus on his very first task, he has to face life and death situation. Though he looks stern and strict, but he is good at heart, and he cares about his team. Instead of being a bossy, he knows that they are in the field and they are doing the task that they are supposed to do it. So instead of being very rude to them, he is sometimes, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't care about their well-being. He is good at heart, but opposite, if he is being the protagonist in that unit, there is an antagonist coming on his way. So here comes the antagonist in this unit, and especially Lieutenant Lim. He does care only about his promotion, and that's all he care about, and he doesn't pay heed to whatever is happening to the team. At his first assignment, his senior was real reckless and didn't pay heed to what the ground reality is all about, and the first deserter, he commits suicide, and thus he was surprised that there is one life that has gone from this world and you doesn't care about it. So he beat up his senior at that time, and now he is assigned with a new person who just comes back, and Corporal Ho-Yeol is his new teammate, and he's senior, but he's always very kind and nice, and especially he knows the ground realities, and especially he says that it's best that we should put ourselves into someone else's shoes to understand that why they felt like this to be a deserter. And other three missions were all with him. Jun and Ho-Yeol, the duo, has their first case of the deserter. So it's a litmus test for the people also, to not just what we think about the whole web series or the realities, or what's the background. And the important thing is there are some people in our community also those, if you are born in a family, you should really accept that where you are born, and especially you should know that what your priorities are and what you really need to do within those financial conditions you are in. So if you will pick something very good that will be fruitful for your own career or for your own future or for your own family, because whatever they could do is it's up to them, but what you are going to be, you are the one who has to decide. So this deserter is away in a different city. Now they have to go there and find out and catch him. And the problem is that he is just playing video games, always staying at home, yelling at his own dad, and always borrowing money from his girlfriend. So he is just putting every member of his family or everyone who is around him in a very tough situation. And thus they come there and find out where he is, and how they catch him is another thing. And the problem is that all this family, they have financial situation that they are in, and they cannot come out of it. And you will be amazed that how this first episode or this first case will unfold, and it will amaze you that the situation that they are in, they don't have any choices. But the thing that can be changed is up to the deserter. I hope you will really enjoy this one also. So let's move what the second case is all. Anjun is going through on a family crisis. His father collapsed, and they are not at good terms with each other, and thus Ho-Yeol is back in his home, and he said there is another case that we have to solve. So once they got this deserter, they found out that he was very easily, they got him very quickly, because he could not run away what's happening in the system. And another thing is also, whatever happens within those four walls, you cannot judge anyone or you cannot blame anyone. And once he is back there, his mother also went there, and thus they open optimistically what could happen. And they said that whether they go on a trial or not, it will be prolonged, nothing will come out of it. Instead, what's the future your son will have? So they don't want to bring their part of the story in front of public or human rights, especially it will be a big highlight on news article. So they just wanted to remain everything within these four walls, and that doesn't change the system. So this guy was easily detained. Let's move what the next is all about. The next one is about a guy, and especially in his family there is only grandmother, and he has to think about how to look after her, because he has no problem, he will be drafted or whatever his priorities, he is going there. And he really needs the system to at least take care of the place where his grandmother lived. And especially there is also, I read somewhere, I forgot the place also, there is at the outskirts of Seoul, there is a slum that the people really live it. So his house was similar like that, and he's know that sooner or later his house also will be demolished, because a capitalist really will change this place. So he really wanted to spend more quality time closer to her mother, do some petty jobs or something, especially in a construction sector that he was working at that time, so that he can stay closer to the grandmother and give her whatever she really needs in the last days of her life. So they caught him, and then they found out that what really could get better, even if the system doesn't do something. So he is the only hope of the grandmother. So they released him, and they said that you should just come back by yourself once you find out that your grandmother went to sanatoriums. And then that was his plan. And it's also like, if sometime it happens that the upper administration and all those people in the upper seats, they get all the benefits, and the low ranks, they never get it. Why? Because, and especially the problem is that the low rankers and all those who are in our social life, they come from poor families, so they have so many challenges, and especially their mind is always disturbed. And for your mental health also, it's important that there should be someone who should pay heed to their family crisis and everything. So there are good things that could come out of this series as well. Let's move what the last one is. Most interesting one, and it will glue you to the screen. And especially this person came from a teaching background and artist. He was an artist, teaching drawing and painting, and he was very kind. And especially coming from that circle where you really need to you have to really comply with the rules and regulations, and you really need to be very softened with the people around you, and especially giving your best image while you are teaching them. So the person he was, he went to learn more disciplined, but it was something totally opposite what he was. So it was whatever the system is all about. So no need to say further, you will just watch what is happening there. From all the top rankers, all those who were senior to him, they were the ones who were harassing him, bullying him continuously for his mental health, and especially for everything. It's worse. How could a person will just tolerate when each and every individual senior to him is just bullying at the same place, and the whole day it was same like this. And especially there was a person who was being discharged throughout his time there, from day one till his last day. He has been bullying all the people. So now he's discharged, but this guy has everything in his mind and heart, that from since day one you have done this to me and you have made me what I am today, and now you are going and you are just saying final farewell, bye, that's all. We should settle our score. So once that guy is discharged, he makes up his mind and he follows him, and thus he tries to take the revenge. And it was looking like an easy catch. They will go and find this because he is just an ordinary person, but later they will found out with the system. Now there comes another problem here also, and especially the seniors, Mr. Park and Lim, they are having their own mind games, and especially they wanted to have an upper hand on every what is that case that they are planning, and that's why there is politics going on in the upper administration, while all this DP, they are the ones in the field. So now the things get more worse, and there are all those chaos. You will really see what happens there. And now he is chasing that guy and to finish him, and thus you will learn a lot of things, that why the situation is like this. And then he also has a friend also who goes and joins there also. What he does will be the very surprising clip of that. I hope you really enjoy this series. It's good. I hope it will get a lot of awards, and especially they are bringing everything what the people have gone through, and the change should be in the system, and especially in this era when we can believe that there is so much political crisis in the Korean peninsula, but doesn't mean that all those people who really are from different walks of life, and those not right now the challenges are totally different. Some people are becoming entrepreneurs, some are going into engineering, some are going to in different fields. So some countries they have to change it also, because they just don't want this thing to be mandatory, because they know what's going on. And sometimes even in this series also they have shown that the upper administration was keeping mum, and they were just bystanders, and whatever what was happening with those people, the deserters, they just kept silent, because they bore this, and they just feel like the others are supposed to be like this, and they have to face everything that's happening because of seniority or juniors, all these things that happens. You will really learn in this. Thank you for bearing me, and have a great day. Take care of your loved ones and stay safe, and keep watching. Thank you so much. Bye bye.